All right, this Hangout on Air is live. This is Alicia String here, and I'm so excited to have our Superwomen on here today, creating the Millionaire Mindset Hangout. And our special guest is Layla Black. And first, I want to introduce our panel to the group here. I'm in the middle of Tennessee with a daughter, as you might can see behind me, busy on her little computer. So we will get things in action to have our mindset blown away from our special guest, keeping the millionaire mindset. So let me welcome over to Greta over there. Just introduce yourself, unmute yourself, and and share with us your special intro here.
Oh, I am so excited to be here. Yes, my name is Greta Campagnolo, and I live on Vancouver Island in BC, Canada, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited for all of you watching today to be able to be here and to be with Layla and to have Layla on this Hangout. It's just such an honor, and I'm just reminded daily of being connected to Layla and having all these, this Superwoman group that Layla has founded and just laid out for all of us. And it's just, I'm just buzzing with excitement. And Baby B, of course, Baby B is here with us, and you will just die over those cheeks.
I don't know how long she's gonna last because she's unhappy. Hey, you're an unhappy camper, aren't you?
Well, maybe I should bring Forrest out. I should bring Forrest out and make him say hello to me.
We need some hangout play dates. Hangout play dates.
That's for sure.
Oh, he's cute. Awesome.
Hi. All right, Valerie, introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah, hi everybody. I am so. I've got my another Superwoman here in the background, Anissa. We've got 3 4-year-olds in the background. I'm a single mom with twin 4-year-olds. She's got a 4-year-old. Say hi.
Hi.
So they're gonna be zipping in and out possibly as well. And
I'll change hats frequently.
There you go. We'll have wardrobe changes.
Time for hair.
For those of you here, get a notebook. Seriously, go out and pull out. If you haven't, go while we're chatting here. Go get a notebook because what is going to be shared here is very powerful. It could be, if you're open to it, if you allow it, it could be something that can literally transform your life and your business, honestly. Layla, I am so thrilled to have you here. My background, I'm an entertainment attorney, but now to be at home online with my kids, I'm an entrepreneur online, and the most powerful piece is the mindset. That has been the thing that has helped me the most, and I am so excited to be able to have you here and to be able to share with everybody. And I don't know, Keisha, I think she's coming on. So is Keisha coming on? She'll be here soon.
She had some family emergency, so she's in the passenger seat. She might be able to jump on, but I'm not sure she'll be able to come on and jump
you're here with us in spirit. And everybody, folks below, there's a place to comment and ask questions. And at certain points, what we're going to do is we're going to, if you're not speaking, maybe we can take turns, because mute out your side, and we're going to check to see any comments or whatever at a certain point to be able to connect and have this be a little bit interactive as well with Layla.
Yeah, I love interaction. I love connection. You know me. I like to keep it in the moment and real. And we're here in the moment with Beatrice. She is my almost 7-month-old baby. Can you believe that? 7 months, ladies? Doesn't that feel like, oh man, it feels like you were just born. You were just inside my belly, and now here you are on Hangouts with me. It's so cool. I know her dad is coming to pick her up soon because we need to get down to business. But I'm just excited to be here with all you ladies. The mom freedompreneurs. I connect with that so much, and I'm so grateful that I can be part of the mompreneur world as a first-time mom. I worked with so many moms, and I just had so much admiration for what you ladies do and the legacy that you leave in your children, and I just couldn't wait to be a part of it. So I'm so glad that I'm an official mompreneur with And just the fact that we're going to be able to help so many other moms out there that might be feeling lost, or they might not know what is next for them or how they can really step into their purpose. They're, you know, we get that feeling like I'm just a mom. I think some ladies out there can relate to that. You know, oh, I'm just a mom. And it's not just a mom, you know, it's like the most important role in this entire world, in the functioning of our economy and everything, you know, it comes back down to our mothers. So I'm stoked. I'm going to just tell them.
All right.
Yeah, I have the best mom.
Yay, baby. Aw, you're so gorgeous. I'm so thrilled. I mean, I was just talking offline before we got on with Layla to say that, you know, she was one of the first powerful female role models in my life in the internet business, because a lot of it has been male dominated, and that's changing. That's changing. But for the men that are on here, I'm telling you, the information that's going to be shared today. For those of you that may not know, Layla has made a little bit over $1 million online. And and she's going to be sharing with us powerful mindset shift that led her there in a second, and how to make that possible.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sweet pea.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Daddy, Toby. So before we go there, Alicia, you haven't had a chance just quickly to tell a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to go. I'd rather go straight into Layla's story, because we have focused time, and we actually have a very important call happening at 12 noon, part of our Superwoman group, and I want to make sure that we're done by that so everybody can hop on that as well, because there's a lot of Superwomen watching right now.
This has been a powerful series that we've been able to invite people out to have their shifts, and what made them go from, you know, where they were to that, what was that pivotal moment to what people would call success. People see a difference in their industry, and Layla has helped me personally create a shift in my life as well. I first realized it, I think, with Paul Hutchings when I got on his Think and Grow Rich call every morning, and I started really reading and diving down into the Think and Grow Rich book, and I pulled out those worksheets and pulled them out going, oh my goodness, I really have a clearness now of what my fears were. And one of them was, I don't know if I should really admit all this. One of them was the fear of a wrong spouse. And so I worked through that going, how can this really be true, figuring that out. And Layla had, I think 2 years ago, 2 years of Superwoman Boot Camp. I think I realized that this morning when I was doing my morning videos of 10 ways to fight the forces of evil. This is the pivotal moment was one of the episodes or assignments you guys do, and it really clarified that. I got to do an exercise with my husband and clarified some things that we needed to figure out. And I want to thank you, Layla, for getting me out of the comfort zone, which I didn't really understand. And I know you've gone through several of those examples as well of exercises or things that you do to get you out of the comfort zone, to be more aware of what allows you to move in that shift in your business. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you have experienced and share with us to help us more be aware of how we can use that in our own shift into our own business. Thank you so much, Layla, for coming on and joining us today.
Yeah. So right now, so basically, Layla, the big question, this is a lot of what I was promoting on this as well, is what would you say for you was the biggest mindset shift, that really led to the success, the incredible success that you have, and how did you get there?
Well, what a loaded question, right? No wonder you guys are getting such incredible conversation. Because my mind it's like overflowing with moments. I am a believer in documenting these moments. And I'll share with you my number one mindset shift, my number one shift that helped me to be where I am today. But before I do that, we have to kind of look at the big picture, because as I progressed through this industry, when I first got started, it was that initial shift of believing that I could do this. You know, I had been in university my whole entire life. I was told, Layla, you will be a doctor. You know, I was really smart in school. I was bullied. I was chubby. I was the half Asian, you know, kid that people picked on at school. So I had nothing else to do but do my homework. So I did really well in school, and I was conditioned that that's how you became successful. That's what success was. And I think it's really important for us to understand that success is only the definition that you give it. So for me, at that point in my life, when I was just going into university, I just got accepted into medical science, and you know, I was making my dreams come true and my parents' dreams come true. And I got there, and I was just out of sorts. It wasn't me. I was like, I can't do this for another 8 years. This isn't who I am. I must not be successful. And I dropped out of university. Actually, I dropped out for a whole year before I even told my parents that I had dropped out, so they still thought I was in school. And I let everything go. I fell into the wrong crowds of people. I started partying and, you know, throwing my life away, drinking, drugs, all of it, because I thought that I couldn't be successful. My definition of success at that moment was to go to school, to get a degree, to have, you know, PhD in my name somewhere, and that would mean I'm a success. And since I didn't do that, since I knew that that wasn't for me, I couldn't do that, you know, I just wasn't in line with who I was, then I must not be built for success. And I think a lot of people out there struggle with that. You know, when we think about, am I worthy? Am I worthy of success? Well, if success to you is, you know, $1 million on the internet, then are you worthy of that? Or do you think that maybe you don't deserve it? So that's where a lot of this mindset stuff comes in, because you will never attract that into your life if you don't think that you're worthy, if you don't think that you deserve it. So that was one of my pivotal shifts, was when I first got introduced to network marketing. You know, I sat in a hotel room at the very back, going to hear these millionaires talk, and I didn't know anything. I never heard of network marketing. I never knew you could make money on the internet. I didn't know what a home business was. I thought a home business was, you know, selling crafts out of your garage. So I went to this meeting, and I saw these people. They were extremely successful. The guy had a flashy suit on, and he had cufflinks with his name embroidered on it, and you know, I was like, oh, that's success, right? Millions of dollars, that's success. I can do that. And what I remember actually sitting in the room, and I saw the triangle, you know, the triangle with all the circles and the stakes, and my mind immediately went to the circle right there at the bottom. And I said, if I help that person down there at the bottom make money, if I help them pay their bills, I'm going to get paid, me up here at the top. So instantly I was like, this is genius. This is what I want to do. This is what I was meant for, is to help people. I had that burning inside of me to make a difference in people's lives, to help them make a change. I always kind of knew that. But here I saw a model that I could do that. So that was one of my first shifts, was when I saw that success didn't have to mean a piece of paper on a wall. And that even though I had been through all of this crap, even though I had this mindset of thinking that I wasn't good enough for years and years and years, I realized I saw something that ignited a fire within me. And it's really important as you're going through your journey to recognize when this fire gets turned on, and to identify it, and to hone in on that, and remember that that is really at the core of what you're doing. So I came into the industry, I totally sucked. You know, I was living in the basement of a bar, broke musician, covered in tattoos, university dropout. You know, all my friends had gone on to graduate college and do something with their lives. And here I was coming to them with this juice, and telling them that they could have their own business. They should, you know, buy this juice from me and start selling it too. So it didn't go over well, and I wasn't going to give up, because I knew that at the heart of everything, I could figure this out. I knew I was smart. I knew I could make this work. I knew that it was what I was meant to do. So even though everybody laughed at me, everybody thought I was crazy. They're like, you hook up with this crazy tattooed Scottish guy that lives in the basement, and now all of a sudden you're a schemer or whatever they call you. All the names that we get as entrepreneurs. So for me, the second shift happened when I truly saw success. Was when I realized it wasn't about the juice. Because I look back at some of the messages that I sent. You know how you can go into Facebook and you can see like when you sent them a message in like 2010? So I look back at some of those messages and they just like they make my skin like just creep up, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. So I send them, this giant long message about this miracle juice that did help my back. I suffer from scoliosis and I had terrible inflammation and pain, and this helped me. So I thought it was all about the juice. And I was selling the juice. And there's a lot of you out there right now that are selling your product. You're selling your vitamins, or you're selling your workout plan, or you're selling, the newest DVD, with a 20-minute less workout, or whatever it might be. You're selling your shakes, or you're selling your blog. I want you to think about this. This was one seriously important shift that happened for me to take me from the struggling network marketer who was getting hung up on, doors slammed in her face, people running from me that I went to high school with, and was out there puking purple all over everyone, to someone who was successful, branded as a leader, and marketing myself and making huge connections and building huge teams. What happened? What was the shift? I was sitting front row in an event because my mentors, when I first got started, told me, you have to sit in the front row. That's where all the money is made. You will see all the successful people in the front row. And when I first got started in this industry, all I knew was I had to do what the successful people were doing. I had to be a sponge and just soak in everything that they were doing. So I was in the front row. Toby and I were sitting there at a Super Saturday training, getting training on how to talk to people about our juice. And this guy sits beside me. And Toby says, hey, Layla, there's that guy from YouTube. And Toby and I had been on YouTube the night before, trying to figure out how we were going to get more people into our juice business. So it was this guy from YouTube. We started talking to him, and he owned an online system, and we're like, the internet. Oh, this is interesting. This is something that we could do because all of our friends and family hate us. So let's go find more people on the internet. And you might be thinking, well, I am on the internet. It's not working for me. Why isn't it working? I'm here on the internet. There's a critical shift that has to happen for you to be successful on the internet. You have to realize it's not about your juice, it's about you. It's not about your product, it's about you. It's about your life, it's about your value, it's about your connection, it's about your story. And the first thing that triggered that shift for me was, I think probably almost all of us, everybody has seen magnetic sponsoring. It was one of the breakthroughs in online marketing was to make it about you, to use attraction marketing to attract people to you. Why would someone want to work with me rather than a multi-billionaire like Frank Kern? What's my value? What's my vantage point? Why is my experience unique? What do they want to connect with me about? What about my life draws them to me? What about my personality draws them to me? It's all these concepts of attraction marketing. So that was yet another shift. So you think about it, as I've gone through the many stages, and there's so many. There are so many different shifts that have happened. When I became really successful in a weight loss company, and I was the skinniest I had ever been in my entire life, coming from the fat kid her whole life, the skinniest I've ever been, and was driving BMWs and making $30,000 a month and had a giant team. All of it was based on how I looked. And so there was another shift. When suddenly I realized that in this industry, in the network marketing industry, a lot of times owners, they call the shots, and they don't always care about the little people. And I've experienced this a few times. One of the big shifts is understanding who you want to work with and surrounding yourself with people that are in line with what you believe in. And that's why, you know, I resonate so much with David Wood and so much with Empower Network and so much with, you know, all of you incredible mompreneurs, because we have the same vision. And I know that the owners will never screw me. So rewind, when I was in this weight loss company, it ended up, they didn't like that we were marketing on the internet. They didn't like that we were doing our own way. They didn't like that we were using attraction marketing. They didn't like that we weren't, you know, keen on doing home parties. They didn't like all that. So we got cut, and everything was taken in an instant. In an instant, your security, your downline, your monthly check, your car bonus, all of it's gone. So at that second, it was like, gosh, that was a huge mental shift for me. And it was I really had to do some soul searching and ask myself if I wanted to be a part of this industry. And, you know, that is when I fully went all in with Empower Network, because I knew that David Wood was someone that I wanted to work with him for the rest of my life, and I knew that he would have my back no matter what. So at that moment, it's all about who you surround yourself with, and you know, you could either give up, you know, you can like just run and hide and, you know, say, hey, I'm done. Or you can remember why you're doing this in the first place. I took myself back to that little circle, that person at the bottom of the circle. And that person pulled me back in. Whoever that person is. You know, I've helped a lot of people in my career, but sometimes we have questions, we have doubts, we wonder if, you know, this is really what we're supposed to do. I know probably everyone that's listening has had a moment when you wanted to quit. I was there, and I had to anchor myself back into that moment of knowing why I joined, why I got excited, why that fire turned on inside of me when I was sitting there in that hotel room. And it was that little circle at the bottom that I could reach down and I could help change their life. And that's really what motivated me. So it's super important for you to be able to identify that little fire and to be able to go back to that moment when it all made sense to you, and to anchor yourself in those moments. And that's kind of what we teach, you know, in the boot camp and through a lot of the trainings is how to make sure that you set yourself up for success with these little shifts in your mind and these powerful memories and statements and moments that you can anchor yourself in when, you know, things try to shake you up. And I've had a lot of things try and shake me up over my career on the internet, but it's all about the roots that I've built, and my roots are so committed to helping other people that there's no tornado, no hurricane that could pull that out. So I don't know if you guys have some specific questions or anything that you're dying to ask me, but if you are, you can go in that chat down there and you can type it in. I'm going to check it, actually.
I have a question.
Okay.
Sort of more so just acknowledging something that I personally have noted in you, and I know so many others, and David Wood in particular has mentioned on calls as well about yourself and Toby. It's just that, you know, I was going to ask, is it just about the people in your own triangle? Is it just about that one person at the bottom of your triangle that, you know, that you're thinking about, that you want to help? And from my experience, from watching you, I'm not necessarily in that little triangle of yours, Layla. And and so many others out there that are, you know, that Layla connects with on a daily basis. This is so important. And it went from, I think for Layla, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it went from that, you know, that person at the bottom of your triangle to I don't know, just this big, massive triangle of the whole world, you know. Imagine the Earth as in the shape of a triangle, and there's, you know, that little person there. And because she has shown us all that it's not just about ourselves and our own little, in our own triangle. It's not just our families and then, or ourselves and our families and then other, you know, and then other people in our triangles families. It's just like, it's everyone. And that's why, you know, I believe that it truly is about you. Are you getting feedback, or is the sound okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's just something that I've really recognized in you and in Toby, and the way that you guys build your business and the success that you've had is just, you've taken it to a whole other level. And I just know, for me, that I appreciate that so much, and it helps all of us to see that, you know, it's so much more than just you and me, and, you know, there's just a greater picture here, and I appreciate you, and you just taught me so much, and it's like, whew, I would not be here. I would not be on this Hangout. You know, it's just completely changed my life to a place where I never could have imagined. I never could have imagined being, like, I never had these types of thoughts of being where I am today. I just didn't, it just opened up a whole new world. So thank you.
When you think about that triangle, right? And most people associate that triangle with their direct sponsors, or, you know, their personal team, because most people identify success and payment as a form, as dollar signs, right? So if I'm not making money from you, then I'm not getting paid from your success. And that was the original model that I was shown, you know, was the triangle, and they make money, and then I make money from that. But when I started to shift what was important to me, and making money wasn't the ultimate payment that I was searching for. I don't get paid in money by seeing the superwoman rise to the top. I don't get paid in money by seeing Greta, you know, step into her power. But money isn't what motivates me, and I know this. I know this 100%. I've done a lot of training, a lot of soul searching, because to some people, money is a huge motivator. And I've worked and been mentored by people in my life that, you know, focused a lot on money. And I knew that wasn't my form of payment. That wasn't the highest form of payment that I could receive into my life. And I think that is one of the huge shifts that had to happen for me to really be successful, because what success is, what I define it as. And for me, success isn't about a check on the wall or $1 million on the internet. Success for me is knowing that I have made these ripple effects, and I see, you know, your 6 kids, and I see how happy they are, and how fulfilled they are, and how smart and inquisitive and curious they are, and how much you engage in them. And I think if we hadn't been through boot camp together, if we hadn't done our training together, you know, you may not be that mom for them. And that, to me, is bigger than any income. That, to me, is bigger than any you know, giant checks. It just is. And so that shift of realizing the more that I give to whoever, my triangle is everyone. You know, the more that I give to everyone, I don't care if you're in a different company, I don't care if you're in a different team, the more that I can pour into you, the more that I receive. And it's not necessarily money, but usually money is directly attached to the amount of value that you provide, whether it's to your own little personal triangle or not. And I say, shatter the triangle, let's go out and let's honestly be like a spider web. You know, let's go out and create this network where we are all connected. And it's not by dollar signs. It's by these emotions, by this growth process. And, you know, I'm just so proud to see all 3 of you women, and Keisha, who's watching this from her car or wherever she is, you know, seeing you women finally getting it. finally realizing this is about me and I have value, I have a message, I have something important to do in this world, and it all comes from the growth that I can achieve inside of myself. So one of the first rules of having a millionaire mindset is this rule of abundance, knowing that the more that you give, the more you will receive. If you think about I can only work with the people that I make money from, or I can't promote somebody else's Hangout because now all the people will join Layla, or now all the people will join Greta. No, this is value. If you didn't share this Hangout with the women in your list, you should. Because this adds to the message that you have to say. And so when you can shift into that abundance, I'm a big believer in abundance, and there's a couple of steps that I want to share with you in a couple minutes that will really hone you in on this huge abundance mindset shift. But yeah, it totally, it's not about money, and it's, the money will help, and we have to put income disclosures that I don't know if you're going to make $1 million. I don't know if you'll quit tomorrow. I don't know if you will ever be, driven enough to make the sacrifices and to put in the time and to dig deep and to get uncomfortable. I don't know if you'll do that. I did it. These women are doing it. But we can't guarantee that you're going to have, giant checks. But what I can guarantee is that you were made for something bigger. You have an opportunity here, and it's in the form of a big giant button. A big giant button, this opportunity to truly change your life and to say, okay, what's next? How do I do this? How do I own my own life? How do I fire my boss? How do I spend more time with my kids? How do I become a better mom? How do I become a better wife or friend or daughter? How do I do it? Because I'm telling you, everything that you'll learn on the inside of this page, it's there for you. And we've seen it. It's like we don't have to hype it up. We don't have to talk it up because it's happened within all of us and with a lot of you ladies that are watching right now. So I'm jazzed. I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It's what's so cool about you were saying you're talking about the spider web. I've actually used that analogy, and it sounds to me it's like, and for those of you that might be watching, they might understand this analogy that you found your calling, and that's what really moved you. It went from what can I do for me, and I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for I'm doing this for other people, and I think it sounds like it has even got even bigger than that for you, where it's like, this is my calling, this is what I was meant to do, and that and that whole thing you're saying about everybody watching this, you have a calling of what it is for you to do, and when you come from that place, you have that abundance space to just be there and give and give and give, and it's just natural that it comes back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it has to be what you want to do. If you are totally happy and content, with whatever your job is or with whatever's going on in your life, then you probably won't be motivated to make a change. But we are motivated by pain, and for me, it was far too painful to live in this life of working a crappy job with a headset in my ear all day long, taking a 30-minute lunch, knowing that because I didn't have this piece of paper, I probably would never be promoted or move up in the company. I was just a sales girl, or working at Tim Hortons and serving coffee, or I remember cleaning houses. All of these jobs, it wasn't good enough for me. And to think that that's all that my life held for me, that was painful. So know your pains and use it to push you forward. And for me, that was it. And then when I connected with my purpose, which if you haven't done, if you're like, well, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't really know what I'm meant to do, then you need this more than anything. because that will make you truly feel alive. And that's when I really became alive. I think it honestly happened during the first boot camp. I didn't know what was going to happen in boot camp. I'd done boot camps, Facebook boot camps and blogging boot camps, and had people half engage and never do the assignments, and not get the results that I had because they didn't do the work that I did, and just I didn't know what was going to happen. And we launched that first boot camp, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna give all of me. I'm just going to give everything that I have, everything that I know, everything that I've been taught, and I'm going to teach it to them. And I remember that first well-formed outcome that everyone did together, and when I saw these women, I saw the look on their face when they truly became connected to their purpose, their real purpose. We talk about our why, right? And your kids and your home and being able to go on vacations and having freedom. All of this is part of your why, but your purpose is why you're really here, and what you were totally meant to do. And when I saw these women getting connected with that, when I saw them truly feeling that inside of them, that's when I felt it for me. And I was like, this is it. This is what we were meant to do. Whether we have to do 1 million boot camps all over the world, this is what we were meant to do. And I never felt more alive than I did in that first boot camp, because I saw truly what I was meant to do. And it didn't have anything to do with who I recruited. It had to do with helping these women truly step into their power. So that's, for me, that was the big connection, was seeing other women step into their purpose. And like you said, it's like that spider web. And then seeing their kids breaking out of their comfort zones, and seeing their kids out there expressing themselves, and thinking to myself, what kind of people they're going to be raising now. I think of Alicia, and I think of her situation that she went through, and I always really connect with it, because I think it was probably one of the bravest things that I've ever seen anyone do. It totally ignited a fire in me to say, hey, we are empowering women here to make those tough, life-changing decisions. When we gravitate towards comfort and security and routine, but for her that wasn't working. And for her to recognize that and have the strength, now I think about her daughter, who sees her mom being this strong woman who's building a business for herself, and who's taking care of their family herself. That to me is like, it's life-changing, and it's totally changed my life to be a part of it. And you ladies can say all you want that you wouldn't be here without me, but I definitely wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah. So beautiful. I just want to quickly give a shout out. It was just some folks are making some comments here, and I just want to sort of mention them. Tina Rodi, she's saying hi. She actually relates. She was part of one of the companies you were talking about, but she said she had shifts coming out of events, and because of all the personal development, that's why she's spending her lunch hour with us. She's taking her time to spend her lunch hour. So thank you, Tina. And Brian Couch, awesome to you too, bro. And Nadia saying thank you, great tips, Layla. Thank you for the invitation. And and she says it's inspiring me, the people who care about others, who lift them up and show that we have a better way to live our lives. And just a few of the folks here that are commenting, just want to give a shout out and say thank you. And anybody else as well, if you have something, you have a question you want to ask Layla, please feel free. But thank you so much for sharing yourself in there. And
gents, I know there's some Brian. What's up, buddy? I take pride in the people that I surround myself with, and just even today, this morning, I don't know if you guys saw that video from Lisa Torres, but so many times when women work together, I know you've probably experienced this if you've been in the real workplace, is this competition. And sometimes even in the online world, it's because there's that lack mentality or scarcity mentality. We have this competition, and I can't go out there and share Valerie's YouTube video. I don't want her to get views. I want to get views. If she's recruits 5 people, then I won't recruit 5 people. And just these insecurities and our limiting beliefs that we're putting out there on the world. But when I saw Lisa's video, we're in different teams, we do different things, our business models are different. It doesn't matter. She saw a video of me, struggling with something and sharing a personal part of me, and she supported me. And then I saw all these other women that were supporting me, and they were giving me shout outs, and it was just like, this is truly how we were supposed to work together, how the world was supposed to work together. But for some reason, and I think the reason has to do with money, when I think about all the problems in the world, usually they come down to money. But for some reason, we have this cutthroat mentality, where we have to step on people to get to the top. You have to push those guys out of the way to climb that ladder. When really, if we all just held our hands and stood hand to feet, we would get there in an instant. So I see one of the most passionate things that I believe in wholeheartedly is this concept of women helping other women and eliminating this comparing game, this judgment, catty, all of this has to go. But the only way that it can is if you get your mind right. You might think, well, I can't work with women because they're all catty, or it's always a competition. I can't do it. Really, that's coming from inside of you. That's coming from your internal programming that needs to change. And one of if you look at, I wanted to show you guys, let me do this before we go away, before we run out of time. One of the big things that I believe in is right here. I don't know if I have a pen. Do you have a pen? No, I don't have a pen. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's be the change, and we've heard this before. Abundance, be the change. If you want to truly surround yourself with women that empower you and submerge yourself, get rid of that cattiness, you have to become that change. You have to live it every single day in your own life. You have to be out there lifting women up. You have to be out there supporting people that have no monetary gain towards you. You have to go out there and do that for others. I truly believe that we, like the ask and it's a given, we call upon whatever fate we have. We've designed that. We've created that. And if for you it's not very happy right now, if for you it's a place of struggle and worry and stress and uncertainty and pain and fear, that's what you've asked for. We want to show you how to ask new questions, how to ask for new things in your life. Avram Gonzalez put up a post yesterday about, and if you want to, you can take a screenshot of that because it's like my Bible of abundance and how to create it in your life. My mantra is this silly little picture, but it's helped me in so many ways. But he put out a post the other day, and it was saying, what beautiful thing will I see today? And he asks himself this question every single day: what beautiful thing will I see today? When you ask, do you not think that he sees a lot of beautiful things? Now that he's asked for it, now that he's decided that he's going to bring that into his life, here they are. So ask yourself, have you asked yourself how you are going to grow today? Have you asked yourself that? If you're not making these questions a priority, then you will not grow. You will stay stuck in that stressful, worried, anxious world. Or you can learn to release it. And I truly believe I didn't inspire power in anyone. I just took away the blocks that were happening to prevent that power from emerging. I don't believe I'm the creator. I just believe that I was able to allow you to release the power that was already there. So I am a believer that the power exists inside of you right now to create success in your life. And one of the things that I want to leave you with before we go is to redefine what that success means. For you right now, it's probably money, because everything always comes down to money. You know, our stress, our anxiety, our worry seems to all come from money. I want you to look a little bit deeper and ask yourself, what does that mean to me? When you have all that money, when you don't have to worry about the bills, when you don't have to worry about keeping the lights on, when you don't have to worry about how much you're spending at the grocery store, you don't have to worry about the price of organic food versus, you know, hormone-infested food. You don't have to worry about that because money is not an object. What does that mean? That's what you need to identify with. That's what you need to find out. Because it's not about the money. It really isn't. And that's probably the biggest shift that I've ever had in this business, is to understand that it's not about the money. It starts out as the money. You know, we all start looking for the money. But it's when you really decide what it's about for you, that's when the money comes. And that's when the shifts happen. When you become the power, when you release the power that's in there already, that's when the money comes. And then at that point, you don't even care about it anymore because you are so on fire. I am almost out of time. It's almost time for us to get on the call. I told you I would share my number one mindset shift. And as you can tell, we've gone through quite a few. We've gone through different stages in my business, and you know, from being a dropout to being practically a drug addict to being you know, losing everything, being on a pedestal and having it all taken away by a particular company, which I shall not name, to, you know, all of these different moments in my life. But the number one thing is to realize that you're on a journey too. And you are meant to have all of those little moments, all of those mindset shifts, all of those pivotal, life-changing decisions that have to be made before you ever get to, you know, where I am. And we're all on a different path, and we're all at different stages. But it's very important, the most important thing for you to remember is to fall in love with the journey. As long as you're moving forward, it's progress. As long as you're taking action, it's progress. Even if you're failing miserably and you're taking action, you are learning from that. You were meant to fail right now so that you could succeed, so that you could grow, so that you could become a better leader, a better teacher, a better mentor to others. You were meant to fail. That had to happen. I had to fail. I had to get hung up on. I had to, you know, go to home parties where nobody showed up. I had to do that. Had to be part of my process. And when you fall in love with that process, you fall in love with that journey, I am telling you, everything else, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're generating 100 leads, 500 leads, or 2. Those two leads could be your Greta. They could be your Alicia. They could be your Valerie. Take care of your list. Take care of the people that follow you, and constantly give yourself. Give what you have. And if you don't believe that you have anything, that's where you start. That belief. So ladies, I think that's it. I think it's a wrap. It's awesome. I love you.
Yeah.
No? Not it? Like I got something else.
Thank you so much, Layla. It really shared a shift to a lot of people to really find their true meaning of also why we're here, why we're all here together, and what they need to do right now as well. Very powerful. Thank you. Anything else, ladies?
Well,
No, that's it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, now that I've had my other aha moment on this Millionaire Mindset Hangout, I'm like just feeling so wonderful and great and blessed, and I'm so pumped for the call, the Superwoman call. So make sure that you're still watching right now. Look down below. You will see the number that you can call to hop on with us, because we're going to hop off here and hop on to our Superwoman Daily Teleseminar. And
And there's the button to join us to connect with that with is down there as well. So you can do that, and then you can be on the inside after the call as well. So
definitely, we want to see you. We want to hug you and take you into our incredible community. You need this in your life. You know, everybody does. You're not meant to do it alone. We are not meant to take this journey alone, and I know that for a fact because I know how much every person that I've met has made an impact on me and has changed me and shifted me in some different way. So if I was doing this alone, I would just be me. You know, I would have been me as I was, and me as I wasn't the best version of me that I could be. So I think that you could really tap into the best version of you. So click the button, get plugged in with us. It honestly, you will never regret it. I can't picture one person who has regretted joining the Superwoman and this incredible community and these amazing ladies, because it's life changing, and it's I was joking about it, but it's less than the price of a weed whacker. So love you guys. Thanks so much. I'm gonna hop on the call.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Yeah.